What's going on, everybody? It's Chris Classic dropping a live. I'm going to talk about one topic right now on the way to work, and then on the way back, I'm going to talk about the Extreme Rules review. That'll be later tonight. Remember, I love you. God loves you. Christ loves you. God bless you guys. I pray, and I know that many of us will overcome any obstacle and trials and tribulations because Christ did it himself on earth. So that is always a motivation. Bray Wyatt is back in WWE. Well, finally back. Here are my thoughts about it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the C3 Ultimate Wrestling channel where I have me and my wife's company exclusive matches and promos. And check out our website for tickets for our next show in January. Bray Wyatt. Now, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to be completely honest on how I feel about Bray Wyatt. And then I'm also going to be honest about him and what he is and what he could be and what he's going to be. I'm not a big fan of Bray Wyatt, and I know you guys are going to throw tomatoes and dislike buttons and all of that stuff, but that's cool. That's fine. But I'm not going to lie and say that this dude is not a megastar and has the potential to be a Hall of Famer. I'm just not going to. I'm not a fan of his wrestling skills or whatever, but what I do like is some of his vision work. Outside of the satanic and demonic stuff, which is a lot of it, I do like his devotion to the character. Now, if I had to choose out of which version of Bray Wyatt that I actually liked, it would be Husky Harris. All right, I'm playing. I would actually like the first iteration with the Wyatt family and the swamp stuff. For what it was, I actually enjoyed that more than Hurt, Heel, Fiend, Funhouse stuff. That's just me. I really did. For the most part, I liked his character, and I didn't know that he was going to be something. The thing was, Vince didn't want him to be something. Or maybe it was personal issues. Like I said, his divorce was very public with, the eye, and she was trying to get WWE in court and stuff like that. That could be it, or maybe Vince just didn't see it. I think it's more of Vince just didn't see him as a compelling superstar. But what I will say is, I'm not a fan of his moveset, but I do like his charisma, the character and stuff like that. He gives 100%. And the thing is, that made him and WWE a lot of money. People were buying shirts. People were getting tattoos. I know a homie of mine got a Fiend tattoo. Shout out to him. People were buying merch and stuff like that. People wanted him to return to wrestling. And a lot of people were like, well, he's probably going to go to AEW. And I'm like, to be honest, I don't think that AEW would have been a good move for him to go for his character and everything like that. And only time will tell about how his character will develop in WWE. My thing with AEW is they do have a lot of people signed and stuff like that. And my thing is, I think that Bray should be a somewhat every other week character. Depends on how they go about it. You get what I'm saying? Like when he was doing the Firefly Funhouse thing, I think they were doing good with him not wrestling every week. They can do promo, vignettes, all kind of stuff. And I thought that was pretty dope that you don't have to wrestle every week. And I do think like him with supernatural stuff like that and characters like that, you don't have to wrestle every week. Especially if it's more character over wrestling moveset, you do not have to wrestle every week. Same thing with Orange Cassidy. He's like one of the most popular guys on AEW, but he does not wrestle every week. Outside of injuries and stuff like that, it goes stale and people get tired, Nikki Ash, ASH. People loved her and got tired of her, quit. But with Bray, it's just so different. Bray literally has a following. Even after he got released, he has a following. People, fan art, all kind of stuff. So it's just like, just because, and I don't understand, just because somebody doesn't like a wrestler, you're just going to knock their work ethic. I won't do that. I will not do that. If the character is more towards Wyatt family Bray than the Fiend Bray, that'll be cool and stuff like that. Maybe this stable will help people if it's actually a stable. Time will tell. But WWE has done a great job because they have people talking. Even with the cryptic messages, people already debunked it and everything like that. People knew what it was. But for him, it's good for him. It's money in his pocket. Everybody's talking about it. The way the pit match, it wasn't that great. It was good, but wasn't that great. But it didn't need to be great. Because if it would have been great, Bray Wyatt's return would have still trumped it. Good job with placement with everything. But even with Bray coming back, that's That's a big thing. And then everybody's like, well, since Triple H is back, maybe Bray has more creative freedom with his character and stuff like that. I do think that even with the Fiend and stuff like that, that kind of character doesn't need a title. Undertaker is my favorite wrestler of all time, right? But he was only, like a 6-time champion? He didn't need the belt as many times as everybody else wanted it and needed. He didn't need to because of the storytelling he was doing with his character. All iterations, by the way. So, that's the grooves, not me. So, I think Bray is also in that category. If you put the title on him, which they might, that's, cool or whatever like that. But other than that, it was a good return. I liked how they set it up, where they made it seem like it was the end of the show because they had the vignette of the rabbit digging into the X, and then the lights went out, and then people with the phones, crowd participation, crowd interaction is a big thing that is lost in wrestling, even in the mainstream, is that people don't know how to get the crowd behind them, even as faces and stuff like that. But the fact that the lights went out and people cut their phones, people are going to do that regardless. But people knew what time it was. The visions of the stuff he went through, the iterations and stuff like that of the past, it all worked great. And that's an aspect I'm going to work on for my company and for my matches too, because this is what will get people interested into actually watching it. So time will tell. Congrats that he got his job back and stuff like that. Like I said, not that big a fan of his wrestling and stuff like that, but we'll see where it goes. Will he go for a title? Will he go after somebody? They were chanting his name throughout the whole show. Wyatt, we want Wyatt. Do. So he's here. So we'll see where it goes from here. So this is my first video. I'm going to drop the review after work. I'm going to talk real quick, but I just wanted to talk about that. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. This is Chris Classic. Make sure you subscribe. Let's take it home.